We have some presentations this evening. We're going to receive a presentation from the General Manager of the San Mateo County Mosquito Abatement District.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. I'll try to make this really fast so that I don't take up too much of your time, but I really appreciate you having me here tonight. Basically, I wanted to give you a brief update on our district. We're an independent special district, and we're paid for by property taxes. Next year is going to be our 100th year anniversary. We were started in 1916. And we also do yellow jackets, ticks, and rats. Our main focus, though, is mosquitoes. And the biggest thing that citizens of San Bruno can do for us is to make sure you don't have standing water on your property. We focus on larval mosquitoes in standing water. We use bacterial products to control mosquitoes in standing water, and we have a variety of strategies that we use, including eliminating standing water, using bacterial agents, biological control, and then also chemical control. And then our program is integrated in that we look for where the problem is, look for where the mosquitoes are, and apply the control there, and then assess afterwards by trapping. As you all know, West Nile virus is the thing we're most concerned about in California, and it's transmitted by mosquitoes between crows, and humans can also be infected. It's a summer disease, and the number that you see up there, WNVBIRD, is a phone number you can call if you find dead birds, and we'll come and pick them up and test them for West Nile virus. That's part of our surveillance for the virus. Last year was one of the biggest years since West Nile virus arrived in 2004. And we actually had more activity throughout the state and in this county itself than we've had since 2004. So all the blue states there are places where there were human cases. Fortunately, in San Mateo County, we didn't have any human cases, but we had a lot of activity, and all the dots that you see on that map are places where we had either positive birds or positive mosquitoes. The picture in there is to remind me that we actually have equipment now that we can test for West Nile virus in mosquitoes and birds in our own laboratory, so we can get results quickly. This year is not quite as bad as last year, but as you can see, all the dots on that map in California, down the Central Valley, in the Bay Area, and in Southern California, are where there have been either positive mosquitoes or positive birds. In the Bay Area, we're seeing a lot of activity in Santa Clara County. We've had 4 positive birds now in Menlo Park and 1 in Redwood City. But to date this year, we haven't had any positive mosquitoes. So we're continuing our surveillance. We're also continuing to control mosquitoes in standing water to try to prevent the emergence of adult mosquitoes. Another thing San Bruno residents might be aware of is we do a lot of control in what's called Mills Field. So it's the property right across from San Francisco Airport. It has a number of impounds in it, standing water, which has cattails, and we treat that by helicopter. So you may see the helicopter down there by Highway 101. Once a month, we're down there doing what we call larviciding. So it's dropping a bacterial product into the water from a helicopter. The reason we use a helicopter is that we can get it down in between the cattails. And then another large concern we have is a new mosquito that we found in the county. It's been found in Menlo Park. We're particularly worried about it because it transmits 2 diseases that we don't yet have here. It bites during the day, and it specializes on feeding on humans, and it actually is the one mosquito that can breed inside your house in vases and little things of standing water. So it's very difficult to control. We've located it in Menlo Park 2 years ago, and you see that little concentration of green dots. That's Menlo Park, so we're going there every single month and going through every single property looking for mosquitoes in standing water. It's hugely labor intensive. The other green dots, which are spread throughout the county, are these little cups that you see located at nurseries. So these are container breeders, so what we do is put a little cup of standing water out there with a tongue depressor in it to see if they'll lay eggs on that, and that's our surveillance system. So to date, we haven't found it anywhere else but Menlo Park, but it's one more reason to really be vigilant about not having standing water in your backyard. To date, we've been pretty successful in controlling it. Since May, we haven't found any more larvae, but we don't know if it's completely eliminated. And then finally, we do yellow jacket control, so if residents have a brown nesting yellow jackets on their property, they can call us and we'll dig up the nest and treat it. Yellow jacket nests look like a small hole in the ground about the size of a quarter, and you'll see yellow jackets flying in and out of it. We've done a little bit of work at a couple of the parks in San Bruno when we're called to do control there. And then tick surveillance, we do surveillance at several of the parks throughout the county. We've done some in the park here in San Bruno. We have about a 3% prevalence of Lyme disease among ticks in the county. It's pretty evenly spread out. And we also provide information about rats. So these are pictures of apples that have fallen off a backyard apple tree, and they have gnaw marks on them, little tooth marks. So if you have questions about rats or you think you have rats on your property, we can come and do an inspection, and we can give you advice on how to do exclusion or trapping. We don't actually do rat control on your property, but we can tell you the things you need to do to secure your property from rats. And this is our new website. You can get more information about all our programs there. And this is our phone number. So thank you very much for giving me the time to talk.
Thank you. Any questions? Ken?
Can you briefly explain, I don't know if you can, what would be a symptoms of a human experiencing West Nile virus?
What they call flu-like symptoms, which is almost anything, of course, but especially a headache, especially at the back of the head. People experience fatigue, a fever that lasts more than a few days. So with those kinds of symptoms, and then occurring during the summer. The mosquito that transmits it is out during the summer. So severe headache that lasts for days, fever that lasts for days, those kinds of things. And then it would be to go talk to your doctor.
Now, are the doctors aware, are they up to date on how to test and be able to recognize?
They should be, yeah. If you have any questions, you can have your doctor call us, but we work in conjunction with the State Health Department to try to make sure that doctors are up to speed on it. Okay. And last year, because we had so much activity, I think doctors are pretty aware of it.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
You know, Mr. Rico keeps us pretty well informed about all of the ongoing things of the district, so thank you very much.